What's up, lifers? It's your girl Lynn J with LynnJ.com. And I was just going through my emails and I ran across this email that just really kind of touched my spirit in a way that I felt the need to go ahead and make a video, not only for the person that sent the email, but for the other people who may be feeling this way. So basically, I had somebody send me an email that attended one of the events that I spoke at. And she basically asked me, how do you keep the faith when you don't see a way out, when you don't have the money, you don't see where the money's going to come from, you don't have people in your life that can help you out? How do you keep the faith? And that's a fair question, because it's so easy for other people to tell people, okay, keep the faith and don't give up and it's going to happen and all that kind of stuff. I get it. But let me ask you this. Is faith not believing in something that you can't see? Is that not what faith is? Let me turn this down a little bit, y'all. I'm sorry. I be zoning out on music. But that's what faith is. It's just believing in the things that you cannot see. And sometimes we have to lean not on our own understanding of things. And that, that's not even sometimes. That's all the time. But let me just go ahead and break this down for you and just make it real simple. Sometimes you just have to work with what you have, and you have to be creative and think outside the box. Okay, for example, I always tell people when I speak at events that I started my very first business with my income tax. A lot of people will look at that and be like, oh, that's so ratchet, why she do that, blah blah blah. I really don't care. Like those were my resources at the time. All I had was my income tax and a vision and my faith, and I just made it work. So it is tax season. And a lot of you guys are going to get, a pretty good cushion. I've known people to get, $7,000, $10,000, $12,000 back on their taxes sometimes. And that's a good cushion to get yourself started. If you're getting that type of money, maybe you should consider using that to invest into your dream, as opposed to, moving into a better house or getting another car. Sometimes you have to sacrifice to get ahead. Another thing is, when I opened my restaurant initially, before I actually opened the restaurant, I had some questions. I was like, I don't know how much all this is going to cost. What if I don't have all the money that I need to make this happen? Then my second thought was, you know what, I'm going to call my city, see if I can get permitted to do a catering service from my house. I mean, if you want a restaurant, why not start with that? That means that your dream is not actually dead, it's just deferred. You start from there and you work your way up. That's normally what people do. You have to work your way up. You're not going to jump right into being exactly what you want to be or where you want to be. If you want to open a retail store, I remember when I opened my first store, before then I used to sell product out of my car. I had a permit in my city and I was a mobile store. Sometimes you have to do what you got to do. Another thing is, if you can't do that or don't want to do that, or if you want to just take a step further because you've already been doing that, maybe connect with people who already have stores who would allow you to come in and maybe rent some space inside their store or section, or maybe allow you to bring your product into their store and you give them a percentage of the sales. Think outside the box. That's very well possible, and then you could go from there. And that cuts out all the need to have to pay the first month's rent, find you some prime real estate, get your lights turned on, all the money that's associated with just stepping out there on your own. Work your way up to that. It's okay. That is okay. Sometimes you have to take those baby steps, but that does not mean that the end result is not going to be everything that you ever envisioned. You get what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is, don't get discouraged to the point where you're losing faith, because when you lose your faith, you just killed your dream. So stay committed to your faith. Be creative. Think outside the box. Figure out what you do have and use those resources and just do what you have to do. And again, like I said, everybody don't have the money. That's okay. That's all right. A lot of us were not born into those type of circumstances, and it's okay. When I first started, I didn't have the credit. I couldn't even go sign for a piece of candy. Nobody sat me down and said, hey, your credit is important, and one day you're going to need it, and one day this credit is going to save you. This credit is going to give you money that you otherwise wouldn't have. Nobody told me that. I had to learn that the hard way after I wrecked my credit. You know, so a lot of people have wrecked credit right now. It's okay. You're going to be all right. You can work past that. Trust me. I could tell you so much stuff about getting your credit back on track. It don't even make sense. You know why? Because I've lived through it. There's no better teacher than experience. So you guys stay connected. The website is lenjae.com, lenjae.com. Again, the courses, the private sessions, and the classes and everything that I offer coming back up in March. And that's it. If you have any more questions, you know you guys can always connect with me via social media, or if you have my email address, if you're part of the Lifers group, go ahead and email me. And I'm here for you, baby. Talk to you later. Bye, Lifers.